Parents of a 7-year-old in Gastonia who was hit and killed while crossing the street earlier this week now facing criminal charges. That incident happened on West Hudson Boulevard Tuesday. Police say the child, identified as Legend, was crossing the street outside a designated crosswalk with his 10-year-old brother when he was hit by that Jeep Cherokee. It was driven by a 76-year-old woman. Police revealed that the young boy was unsupervised at the time, and now both parents, Jessica Ivy and Samuel Jenkins, are facing charges in connection with his death. The parents have been charged with felony involuntary manslaughter, felony child neglect, and misdemeanor child neglect.
We're joined now by our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, first, obviously a tragedy, so your heart goes out to the family there. But the parents, I think we all grew up in a time when, you said, okay, go out and look after your little brother, whatever. This is something where they were out with the brother and now they're charged with this. Where does the liability lie with parents to make sure that your kids are supervised and safe?
I mean, tragedy is an understatement as a parent of four. I mean, this is a parent's worst nightmare. This is something that you couldn't even imagine. I mean, I try to wrap my hands around it when I first saw it, and I immediately sat down and was like, wow, this kid just died trying to go to the store. I mean, and I probably did it 100 times as a kid growing up in Philly. I walked to school at first grade, let alone go to the store. And so that was something that's just probably a different era. But what I can say is it's the accountability portion is technically by the rule of the law, this is something that they could charge with. I just think the timing of it is probably something that I would have maybe taken a step back. These folks aren't going anywhere. You recognize that the child just passed, allow them to properly grieve, bury their child. And then if you want to bring charges at some point, you can bring the charges because these are the parents. They're not going to decide to, run and leave. So they would be here. These charges won't go away. There's not time sensitive either. And so I think at the very minimum, continue investigation, do what you need to do, and then see that you have the standard there. Have you met all the elements? Elements specifically being, was there this voluntary? Was it this willfulness? And did you have this child unattended? And I mean, it's clear from the facts so far that the child was on his own with their other brother. The brother was only 10, not old enough to properly supervise. I mean, so by the standard, this seems like it's a pretty straightforward case. I just don't understand why the rush to charge.
Yeah. Does the parental responsibility change at all based on a child's age or maturity level? I mean, how is that?
Yeah, I mean, at 13, you can leave a child unattended, but that 13-year-old can't watch younger children anyway. So in this situation, even if the child would have been 13, he still would have had an opportunity to save the parents from this situation. And I think if it was a 16 or 17-year-old kid, they still probably would have been able to find a way if they wanted to charge. But I think it makes it easier for them to charge a person in a situation where it's two minors, specifically one minor watching another minor.
Well, and in this case, this obviously a 76-year-old driver hit that child. They were not in the crosswalk. And so far, they haven't been charged yet, but do you foresee any potential charges for that individual?
Not what I've seen so far. They said this lady's been cooperating with investigators, that there was no drinking involved, nothing that was illegal, no speeding, no improper change lane or anything like that. And so you would think that this is, as we mentioned, tragic. It's tragic on both ends because while these parents have lost their child, this person, even if she's in the right, still took a person's life, and you have to live with that. And so this is a tragic all across the board. And that's, again, why I'd say if I was heading up this investigation, it would be my idea to pause, to wait, to slow down, allow grievance to happen in this community, and then go forward with whatever things that you want to go forward with, because the charges will still be there.
And you're looking at it too, say they're found guilty going down the line there, then you're leaving another child without parents. Khalif, looking at this again, as we said in the beginning, we've all probably as kids done this, walked around, our parents giving trust in us. Just because you have all the elements to charge somebody, does that mean you have to?
Oh, no. I mean, the discretion to charge is with the elected DA of the county, and the elected DA of the county, through all their vast assistant ADAs, will bring a charge. And so if the DA decided that this is one that we want to bring, there had to be some other facts that were there. And I know Travis, the DA, an elected DA in Gaston, someone that's trying to make sure that they uphold the standard of law. I mean, someone that doesn't rush to judgment. And so I don't even say my statements about why go so fast lightly, because typically he's even-handed and wants to make sure.
So what are we missing?
I'm not sure, and that's why I'd like to know if these folks maybe had some other past. Maybe there was something in that maybe there were calls out before about unattending the children. There had to be some other there. And because I don't know that, that's why I make my statement from afar, recognizing that the clearer, larger picture has to be more than just happen, because the rush is a little bit fast.
Interesting.
Can't imagine trying to hold someone accountable and being sensitive to the trauma of what just took place is not easy. Thank you very much, Khalif. Appreciate it.